Hello everyone, welcome back to Pathology Academy. I'm Dr. Aditya Kumar and today we will discuss one of the most important topics in renal pathology, glomerulonephritis. This topic is not only crucial for medical students but also for postgraduates and exam aspirants, especially for FRC Path, MD or US UK exams. In this video, we will cover definition and general concepts, classification of glomerulonephritis, pathophysiology, histopathology features, and key exam points. So let's begin. Glomerulonephritis refers to a group of disorders characterized by inflammation of the glomeruli, which can lead to proteinuria, hematuria, reduced kidney function, or nephrotic or nephritic syndromes. Key points to remember here are the glomerular injury can be immune mediated or non immune. Clinical manifestations depend on the severity and type of injury. It can be primary, limited to the kidneys, or secondary, associated with systemic disease like lupus, hepatitis, or diabetes. In exams, always remember glomerulonephritis is equal to inflammation plus functional impairment of glomeruli. Coming to the clinical classification, according to the clinical classification, it can present as nephritic syndrome, nephrotic syndrome, or rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis. In nephritic syndrome, there is presence of hematuria, mild proteinuria less than 3.5 gram per day, oliguria, hypertension, and mild edema. In nephrotic syndrome, the presentation is with massive proteinuria, which is more than 3.5 gram per day, hypoalbuminemia, generalized edema, hyperlipidemia, and lipiduria. Rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis. In this, there is rapid decline in the kidney function. Crescents are seen on biopsy, and it can lead to end-stage renal disease if untreated. According to the pathological or morphological classification, glomerulonephritis is of two types, primary and secondary. Primary is idiopathic and affects only kidney. Examples are minimal change disease, focal segmental glomerulosclerosis or FSGS, membranous nephropathy, and IgA nephropathy. And secondary glomerulonephritis is systemic disease associated, and examples are lupus nephritis, post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, and diabetic nephropathy. The other classification, which is based on immunofluorescence and pathophysiology, can be classified as three subtypes: immune complex mediated glomerulonephritis, anti GBM or linear pattern related glomerulonephritis, and posse immune or ANCA associated glomerulonephritis. In immune complex mediated glomerulonephritis, granular deposits are found on microscopy. Examples are post streptococcal glomerulonephritis and lupus nephritis. In anti GBM, on immunofluorescent microscopy, linear pattern is noted, and the example is good pasture syndrome. In posse immune or ANCA associated glomerulonephritis, there is minimal deposition on immunofluorescence. One exam tip: always remember to classify glomerulonephritis by clinical, pathological, and immunofluorescence pattern. This often comes in MCQs. Now let's talk about the pathophysiology of glomerulonephritis. Well, the pathophysiology could be immune complex mediated, anti-GBM antibody mediated, and ANCA associated or post-immune glomerulonephritis. In immune complex deposition, circulating antigen antibody complexes deposits in the glomerular basement membrane or mesangium, causes activation of the complement, recruits inflammatory cells, and leads to glomerular injury. Examples are post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis and lupus nephritis. Anti-GBM antibodies mediated. In this, there are autoantibodies directly targeting the glomerular basement membrane. And this, there is linear deposition pattern on immunofluorescence. An example is good pasture syndrome. ANCA associated or posse-immune glomerulonephritis, small vessel vasculitis involving glomerular capillaries, minimal immune deposits on immunofluorescence. An example is macroscopic polyangiitis. Some additional key mechanisms: mesangial proliferation, which causes thickening of the glomerular tuft, endothelial injury, which causes leakage of RBCs or hematuria, podocyte injury, which causes proteinuria, especially seen in nephrotic type of glomerulonephritis. An exam tip: different glomerulonephritis subtypes produce distinct immunofluorescence pattern. Always correlate histology with immunofluorescence. Histopathology is the key for diagnosis. Let's review some classic patterns. Post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis on light microscopy shows hypercellular glomeruli with neutrophilic infiltration. Immunofluorescence shows granular IgG and C3 among capillary loops, giving it a starry sky or lumpy, bumpy appearance. And on electron microscopy, subepithelial humps are seen. IgA nephropathy or Berger disease. In light microscopy, there is mesangial proliferation. On immunofluorescence, there is IgA deposits in the mesangium, and in an electron microscopy, there are electron dense mesangial deposits. In membranous nephropathy, light microscopy shows thickened glomerular basement membrane, spike endome pattern. On immunofluorescence, granular IgG and C3 among capillary loops is noted, and on electron microscopy, subepithelial deposits are present. In minimal change disease, the light microscopy shows normal glomeruli. However, electron microscopy shows podocyte food process effacement, and immunofluorescence is usually negative. In crescentic glomerulonephritis, light microscopy shows crescents in Bowman space, and immunofluorescence shows pattern depending on the subtype, linear, granular, or negative, as in posse immune type of glomerulonephritis. Tip for exam is try to memorize 1 to 2 hallmark feature per subtype. This helps answer image based or MCQ questions quickly. Here I have enumerated some high yield points for exams. For example, post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis is more common in children, 2 to 3 weeks post-pharyngitis, and there is low C3, and the immunofluorescence pattern is granular. IgA nephropathy is most common in adolescents or young adults, and hematuria during upper respiratory tract infection and mesangial IgA deposits is noted. In minimal change disease, common nephrotic syndrome in children, normal light microscopy, but podocyte effacement is seen on electron microscopy. Membranous nephropathy is the most common type of adult nephrotic syndrome in which subepithelial deposits and granular IgG3 is noted in immunofluorescence. Crescentic glomerulonephritis is rapidly progressive and may be anti-GBM immune complex mediated or posse immune. Exam tip for image based questions, remember one hallmark, light microscopy or an immunofluorescence pattern per disease. So, to summarize, glomerulonephritis is inflammation of glomeruli, can be of nephritic or nephrotic presentation, classified clinically, morphologically, and immunologically. Histology plus immunofluorescence plus electron microscopy is essential for diagnosis. And key exam points, memorize the clinical features, histology hallmarks, and IF patterns. That's all for today's lecture on glomerulonephritis. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pathology Academy. Thank you for watching and happy studying.